Kenya is a country located on the eastern coast of Africa, washed by the Indian Ocean. Its territory encompasses savannas, lakes, the vast Great Rift Valley, and mountain ranges. Kenya is home to diverse wildlife, which is the country's main attraction. Safaris are highly popular among tourists, and perhaps it is thanks to tourism that Kenya has managed to avoid economic collapse. However, considering everything that is happening, it is hard to imagine things getting any worse. Kenya is one of the poorest countries, ranking 41st in the list of the poorest countries, after Haiti and Uzbekistan. The only country worse off is Nicaragua, which is also located in Africa. In general, Africa is the poorest continent in the world. How can a person who has lived in a normal and healthy society, raised with the right ideology, describe themselves? The father works, provides for the family, is the breadwinner, and the mother is the keeper of the home, passing on the right values to her children. The children, in turn, transmit these values from generation to generation, creating a healthy society.
My name is Samuel Maina. I live in Kibera in a place called Soweto. Before I entered Don Bosco, I was trafficking drugs and guns at the age of 8.
Kenya is the complete opposite of this century's old belief that a proper society is built on the right values. There is absolutely no concept of what a parent should be like or what values should be passed on to children, which is causing the country to decay from within. Poverty leads to a multitude of problems, with the most prominent ones being drug addiction, which is widespread among the entire population regardless of age. People are forced to endure their miserable existence, hunger and illness, and the only escape they find is through oblivion. The complete absence of education for the female population, resulting in sex tourism. Girls become pregnant at an early age, either lose their children or raise them in this horror, further reinforcing the lack of morality in the country. The number of homeless children keeps growing. As of 2023, there are approximately 300,000 homeless children, 60,000 of them in Nairobi. The near absence of any medical assistance. Although medical facilities exist in the country, they have nothing to do with proper healthcare. The nearest hospital from the slums is located up to 100 kilometers away. The only opportunity to receive any specialized medical help is when volunteers from other countries come to the country. Critical levels of unsanitary conditions. Given the high unemployment rates and a struggling economy, the presence of garbage and dirt on the streets is not surprising. It only reinforces the previous points. With terrible health and lack of food, there is no motivation to maintain cleanliness. There is no need to delve deep to understand that the root cause of all problems is the absolute lack of means for existence. Every person needs to fulfill their basic needs for a normal life: food, health, and a sense of security. These needs are interconnected, and even if one element is missing, it leads to the breakdown of a person's identity. And when the most fundamental need, food, is absent, it is a direct path to the death of a person. In Kenya, all three elements are missing, and in this case, the most prominent element is severe hunger, which cannot be removed or satisfied. It is constant and leads people to even more destructive behavior, namely the use of narcotics such as cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and others.
Unasikia nini? Unasikia nini?
So you've been taking this for 20 years?
Yeah, for 20 years. And
He's been taking drugs since he was 15.
Are any of your friends who were using drug with your dad?
Yeah, many of them.
Last year we lose more than 4.
Yeah, last year 4 went down. Like me, I have hepatitis B, I can't lie. You see, instead of dealing with the real big fish, they come to the small fish. Why?
So you're saying they are not getting the priority right?
No, they are not going to the big fish. They are always hunting us.
The most accessible substances that addicts can afford are glue and processed aviation fuel, referred to as mefura ndeje in Swahili. People turn into zombies. They can hear but completely understand nothing. There is quite a lot of garbage in the country that can be collected and sold for money. A day's work of collecting garbage amounts to a maximum of 1.5 euros. Kenyans cannot meet their basic life needs in terms of food, and with this money, they can only afford to buy what is within their means: processed aviation fuel or shoe glue.
Jet fuel composition: kerosene, ethyxyethanol, diaminopropane. Dangerous toxic substance that causes hallucinations, clouding of reason, and euphoria.
Children collect garbage and within an hour they are sitting with a bottle of aviation fuel. Local traders sell these substances openly and the police try not to notice, even though it all happens in plain sight right on the street. The local population speculates that the police may have more significant interests and small-scale trading is not of their concern.
That's 60.
60 shillings. This one.
Unajua kitambo walikuwa wanapenda gamu, lakini siku hizi wameturn kwa hii.
How many children come here to buy? Every day, I mean.
More than 100.
What's the point of selling this if you know that it damages children so much?
Unajua wakati hiyo tukiuza, unajua sasa, unajua problems una otherwise ya kupata hii pesa. Sasa inabidi tu inafanya tu for the sake of money.
You're not afraid that police will come and arrest you?
Bribe them with 500, then they go away.
On average, a dealer sells around 100 bottles of fuel in a day. One person poisons at least 100 people, but there are so many of these dealers. It is evident to the naked eye that the overwhelming majority are carrying bottles of glue and processed fuel. This type of addiction is even prevalent among children and pregnant girls. In civilized countries, however, children and pregnant women are the focus of society's preservation. They are protected and safeguarded at the state level, and the birth of children is incentivized through economic support for families. But the Kenyan economy is at a very low level to provide moral and physical motivation for healthy childbirth. When you see these scenes, tears well up in your eyes. You realize that you are witnessing a hungry girl who is just entering adolescence, who cannot experience a healthy upbringing, a healthy generation. She is forced into prostitution just to secure minimal means of survival or even oblivion.
Mtu anavutanga kwa jia stress, kwa jisa zingine umefungia nyumba, unalala nje, utafanya nini? Utamwangalia lazima uvute, na muangalie na mtafute kitu ya kukula.
She's sniffing that stuff, and at the same time, I'm wondering how is she going to take care of this baby?
The young boys and the girls are given the clue to sleep. So the mom can go out and loiter, look for men to fuck them and give them money. Nowhere to sleep, nowhere to eat, nowhere, nothing. Look the way he looks.
Look at.
He's pregnant.
She don't have a...
The husband is nowhere.
Carrying with her an inherently unhealthy child. She gives birth to a little person who is doomed to the same existence, leading to drug addiction, relentless hunger, and early death.
I collect food and put it aside to feed my pigs. They have to eat too. Sometimes I might be lucky and find some packed meat and chips here. And that would be lunch for today. Just like that. Some might think this is not a good job. If they see me looking as dirty as I am now, they might look down on me. But I know what I'm getting out of it. You can find food here. There's meat. Do you see these people around here? They depend on us. They're mainly here because of meat. Maybe they live somewhere nearby and they haven't had anything to eat yet today.
And your mom?
My mom, she's called Regina
Roshan. Mtoto wangu Ibrahim Ahmad alikufa unga, alikuwa akitumia kwa pua na kujidunga sindano. Sasa watoto wangu wote mimi sina, nabakiza huyu tu. Huyu anavuta unga huyu kweli.
According to the UNODC, from 2008 to 2018, the seizures of heroin and morphine in Africa increased tenfold, with the majority occurring in East Asia. Yes, but substances like these are prevalent in more central locations of the country, such as the city of Mombasa, which serves as the administrative center of the coastal province and is the second most populous city in the country after Nairobi. Perhaps the police should pay attention to the street vendors who are causing harm to the majority of the population. It's not without reason that Kenya ranks 27th among drug-dependent countries. After all, any drug is a drug. Any drug leads to addiction, self-destruction, and the destruction of the nation as a whole. Esther started using heroin when she was 16 years old, after her child died from yellow fever. Now she survives in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, a city with very low income levels.
I'm a heavy junkie.
She needs 5 to 10 doses of heroin per day, and one dose costs 140 Kenyan shillings, or €1. But Esther doesn't have the money for it. Therefore, she engages in prostitution to sustain her addiction. When you see these scenes, tears well up in your eyes. You realize that you are witnessing a hungry girl who is just entering adolescence, who cannot experience a healthy upbringing, a healthy generation. In 2018, Kenya recorded approximately 27,000 people addicted to heroin, and by 2023, the number had risen to around 35,000. Despite their circumstances, if you talk to these people, they are kind to you. They smile, and they are capable of offering you assistance if you ever need it. Somehow, they don't lose their minimal share of optimism. Perhaps the strength of their moral spirit lies in their faith, because despite the significant problems the country faces, their society is deeply religious. Even the national anthem begins with the words, "O God of all creation, bless this land and nation." According to information from Wikipedia, around 85% of Kenyans practice Christianity. How much does a society suffer when it prays in its own anthem? It is impossible to imagine such a thing, and once you witness it, you cannot forget it. Kenya is washed in tears, but only a few people truly care about this country. Credit should be given to the volunteers and countries that provide assistance to Kenya to the best of their ability, and they deserve a huge thank you. May God help them, bless their land and nation. Amen.
Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon to receive notifications. There's much more interesting content ahead. Until next time, take care of yourself.